I've known you. I've known you for so long. I've been there with you every step of the way. You've never left my heart. How bold you've been. How passionate. How ardent. I saw you standing there, fists clenched, jaw slack, the entirety of your universe suddenly collapsing into a moment, a word ringing out, ricocheting through your head like rubber against stone. Lilting. You knew they would call a name. You abstractly understood that this is what would happen. Part of you feared it, but that part was quelled by the rest. Ardent, so sure. And yet, they called her name, your sister's. It was too much. You stood there, fists clenched, jaw slack, entirely immobile. But you all had roles to play, and Lilting knew it. She stepped forward into the center of the antechamber. The priests prepared her, wetting her hair with oils and draping breathy fabrics over her shoulders. There was a pause. The priests looked at you. A cough. And then your body moved. Through its own accord. One step, then another still. Carrying you forwards towards her, dread dropped in your gut like 1,000 weighted sighs. Your hands went around your sister's head as you tied the cloth around her eyes. A rushing filled your head, a building pressure, a scream that is unheard filled your lungs. You blinked, and in that second, hours passed. You sat next to a bridge, lost. You felt so alone, but you weren't. I was with you, the same way that I was with Lilting in that moment, bringing her soul home, guiding her to better shores, to my embrace. You had a choice to make. Ardent. Will you accept the loss of your sister, or will you defy God? Of course, you were ardent and burned with a light unlike any other. That light guided you through the night into the chapel, to the chamber of rest, and to her. Lifting her upon your shoulders, you clutched your future by both hands and wrenched it to your will. You took her and left to find me, to find her soul, to do something so much larger than yourself. You made the choice. I saw you, filled with vigor and joy, a child who got away with it. Your steps were light as you left the trail and wandered into the woods. The woods will be safer than the road, the thought echoed in your mind. Safer, safer, safer. But you knew not what awaited you within the black boughs above. I watched you weave your way through woods and moss, and I knew exactly where you were headed. I knew who would be there. As you wearied, I saw you seek the river, follow the chuckling water towards the falls. I saw you dip your hands into the crystalline water, letting a pool around your fingers. You glanced your reflection and saw the grit on your face, both from dirt and from conviction. Before you, the chuckling water turned into cackling branches. Your body was engulfed as the water went in reverse, lifting you upwards with a strange sensation. Are you drowning? or flying. It swirled around you, obstructing your vision, constraining your limbs. You held your breath as long as you could as you rushed upwards, pressing in, inundating you. Your vision flickered twice, eyes sighted above you, then dark. You awoke with a start. I saw how you strained against the vines and cables binding your arms. You noticed immediately the lack of weight on your back. Where was Lilting? The panic filled you like boiling water in a cup, longing to escape. I saw your strength surge and your bonds torn. But where were you? I knew all too well. The domain of the Fae, the court of the king. A strange land among bough and branch, trees woven like thread to create expansive arches. A sweet smell filled the air to lure the innocent into ill-gotten fates. Were you there to be prey? I saw you rush from tree to tree, searching for Lilting. Your soul was red and your hands were clenched. You rounded the corner to a large branch laden with two figures, Lilting and someone large and slender leaning over her. Their sing-song voice was speaking a language incomprehensible to you. You tried to sneak up, but you've always been stronger than you are lithe. Their head flipped around, wholly to face you, alien eyes looking you up and down with amusement. Well, what? Well, the boy has awoken. Come to take back the girl that is broken. I see her here, but where is her soul? Her body empty, but soon will be full. You think you'll take her, but I am too clever. With my soul in her flesh, I can live forever. They cackled with glee as you leapt towards them, arms wide to grasp Lilting. The branches shifted and the king was gone, only to hear their musical chuckling behind you. I saw you, full of determination, fire, and focus. The dogged dance dragged on, and you both began to weary. The king had never met a human with such stamina, and yet they continued to elude you. I felt your fire building, burning and consuming your will as you fell to your knees and cried out, beseeching the king, "Let me take her, please. I need her back. She's been taken by Sovereign and I'm journeying to return her. She's not a vessel. She's a person. She's my sister. Please, please let me take her. I need her. I need her." I felt your anguish as your shoulders heaved, and so did the king. To take something from Sovereign is bold, a crime beset upon my foe of old. I see you. I hear you. I feel you too. I'll grant you passage to do what you must do. Head through the woods and follow the moon. And lastly, I shall grant you a boon. Thunder crashed as sheets of rain cascaded across your view. I saw you choose the mountain pass with youthful innocence. You did not know what chaos it held, what power. You slipped across rock and cliff, clutching your sister as close as you could. I saw the way your eyes widened as a strike of lightning illuminated the giant, a titanous beast, its many legs propelling its mountain-like torso forward. Dozens of cliff faces peering down at you, towards you, their eyes cobalt and coal.
Child,
They called out, filling the valley and blocking your way through the mountain pass.
from whence do you hail to try a journey through my mountain halls?
You shook from the power of the voice. It cast water forward in a rush with the force of its breath. But you steeled yourself, the conviction of your journey compelling you to shout against the wind and rain. I am on a quest, sent from the fairies' realm.
What is that upon your back? Empty flask cast in flesh instead of stone.
It's my sister. I need to pass through your valley to head northward, to Sovereign's mountain. You reached in your pocket and felt the slight wooden flute given to you by the fairy king. The giant mountain creaked its enormous head to the left inquisitively. You closed your eyes. I felt your soul swell as you began to play. A simple melody rang out, and as though by design, the storm broke. A beam of light from the broken clouds illuminated the valley before you. The giant chuckled, a sound like an avalanche.
I see. To bigger peaks and larger gods with you then, child. You may pass.
The trees on its back groaned as the giant stepped backwards, creating a path through the valley. It knelt, and at once all the cliff faces closed their eyes. It spoke no more. I watched you toil the following days, lost in the abyss of snow and tundra, the waste sapping your energy and taxing your mind. Wasn't that rock ahead of you, behind you, just an hour ago? What is an hour in this snowscape? As time is a funny beast when all is shrouded in white. One step, and another still. The only way forward was one step at a time. There was no other option. I saw your soul flicker slightly, like a candle in the wind, as the bluster casts torment against your will. The burden weighing heavily upon you as you half dragged her through the snow. One step, and another still. You kept your body moving, even though your mind was wandering back to home. I heard your thoughts call forth the smell of roasted nuts, the sound of your father's idle humming as he cobbled yet another pair of shoes. Shoes you are presently wearing. Sound shoes made earnestly with skill and labor. One step, taking you closer to the end. Circles routing yourself. But those shoes were made with love, a purposeful gift, and they will carry you ahead. One step, and then another, and then another still. You thought you must have been on your back, staring at the sky. The purest blue laid out ahead of you, spanning out towards the horizon. But as you kept walking, you saw it reveal a shore, crusted with ice. The lake before you was massive, and the horizon white, broken by the single largest mountain you have ever seen. You instantly knew what you saw. The seat of Sovereign. My home. But the lake ahead of you was leagues wide. You stepped forward as dismay filled you. Another week or so of wandering might destroy you. The tundra had cost you nearly all you had left. You continued to stumble forward as exhaustion roared in your ears, dulling your senses and overwhelming your will to go on. You rounded a corner and sighted the most unlikely thing upon the shore of this lake. A boat, lengthy and curved with a small hut in the center of it. It was dark, but with a torn sail. However, it still looked operable. You broke into a sprint as you approached it. As you neared, you tried to board, but something stopped you. A sudden pressure in your chest stopped your breath. You fell on your back to the bank next to the boat. A rustling. And then you saw the figure, a great frame draped with shorn gray cloth. It seemed to be both sheer and yet obfuscated all familiarity about the stranger's visage. The same pressure in your chest returned as they leaned over you, a crunching sound as an arm extended towards you. You didn't hear the statement so much as you felt it in your head, bouncing between the drums of your ears. You had no idea what that meant as you stared at the beckoning hand. Payment? You had no coin or currency. You knew not what it could mean, and you cried out, "I have nothing to give, but please, I beg you, please, take me across the water." Again, it was felt more than heard. You have much to give yet. Warmth and will and blood and being. Now, payment. The pressure in your chest lifted as you understood what to give. You stood slowly and reached for the small knife at your hip. Clenched your teeth. But your ardent soul flared with assurance. This is what you must do. Blood trickled from your slice in the palm of your hand, down to the waiting hand of the stranger before you. Their shrouded figure shuddered and lifted its head until it stood tall before you, feet higher than it ever should have been. Enter. You approached the boat, when suddenly the weight of lilting on your back became unbearable. You fell again into the frozen shore. The voice echoed inside your head for a second time. You knew that you could not cut her, for her heart no longer beat, so you crouched next to her and gently pet her face, a tress of hair falling across her cheek. You grab your knife and cut a large strand off of it. Standing again, you offer it to the bloodied palm of the stranger. The voice speaks again within you. You board the vessel without struggle, and almost as soon as your feet touch, it began to move through its own accord, pulling you away from the shore. The figure was nowhere to be seen. I saw you look inside the small hut to find the fire and blankets within. You laid your head down, just for a second, and drifted into a deep sleep. A dream came to you. Quiet at first, the familiar giggling of lilting as she played in the mud. She was a child, innocent and free, known to get into trouble for things such as this. Mud on a day of service? Unheard of. And yet there she was, effortlessly engaged in play, her laugh like the trill of a flute. You ran up to see what she was making. You looked down and saw in front of you her perfect recreation of the seat of Sovereign, my mountain home. She looked up at you and muttered quietly, Go home. This is wrong. Go home. Go home. She kept repeating those words as there was a roar in your ears. A sudden jolt woke you as the barge landed on the other shore. You were there, at the base of my home, here to exact your will. At the base of the mountain, you stood, your fists clenched, your jaw slack. This would be the greatest feat yet, but you were strong, determined. Your will burned again with a smoldering that no mountain storm could quell. You took your first step forward, the crunch of snow beneath your shoes suddenly echoing in your head. The world turned inside out. You were standing on water, or in water. Mercury shine danced upon the surface. You felt her behind you before you heard her. Please, go home. It was lilting again, speaking to you through your soul. Somewhere in the world, you could still feel your body climbing mountains, but that was far from what lay before you. The tips of trees reached down to touch the glass of water their roots making a canopy above you, blocking out light. Needles from pine and leaves from maple began to fall downwards towards you in a shower. They whirled and whipped, a small cyclone appearing before you. Her voice was but a breath on that wind. Go back. You know I can't do that. Go back. This is wrong. Her voice was stronger now as the gale picked up, the leaves forming a shape, her shape. It stepped towards you, reaching out a hand. You felt the soft touch against your cheek and heard, "Brother, no, your errand is amiss. You have become lost. There is a peace for you, a peace for me. Leaving me is a kindness." Your fists clenched, your jaw tightened. You threw your arms to your side and yelled, "No!" A rush of wind surrounded you, covering your vision entirely. The sound of dry leaves, more of a roar than anything else. Suddenly, there was nothing. Nothing but the bare slate and shale before you, reaching forward and propelling yourself upward. Truly ardent, you were prepared to pry things open, to fit your goals, bend them to you. You climbed upward, upward and upward, body aching, soul screaming, and eyes set. And here we are. You are before me. I see you. So, Ardent, what will you do next? Even I, in all my wisdom, do not know that. I'm speaking to you. My voice rings in your mind. Come recover here. A warmth rushes through you as I speak. I want you to hear me, to feel the safety, the peace that I bring. You have come here with a purpose, with a goal, but you have seen the chaos of this world. You have witnessed the great gods that roam outside your city, the pain, the effort, and I am offering you peace, as I have given the same peace to Lilting. Your love is the purest of loves. It is kind and determined and loyal and ardent. You must make another choice, the final choice. Do you hold on to her, to your dreams of who she was before? Do you rest your head within my warmth to join her in this peace? Do you return to the shelter of your land, empty-handed and outcast, but still you? I cannot say what you will do, dear child. I cannot say. But it is time now, Ardent, to synthesize your fate, to forge ahead to be who you want to be. No more living for her, but for yourself. Now make the choice. Make the choice to find your peace. If you've made it this far, I just want to sincerely thank you for listening. Sojourn was a passion project for me as I stepped into the world of music creation as a fully solo artist. And this story has been so meaningful to me. And I just want to, again, thank you so much for listening to this companion piece. I thought it would be a helpful way to flesh out the story a little more and give a little more life to these characters. Until next time.